What's up, guys? Welcome once again to another review on what's happening on the process and chemical engineering world. Remember that I have been doing or getting this newsletter, which is a very condensed, awesome content on what's happening all around the world. If you're a chemical or process engineer, or maybe someone that it's related to chemical productions or selling bulk chemicals, fine chemicals, this will definitely be of your concern. In the previous video, I showed you how to subscribe for free to the newsletter, thecolo.com, .co only. And this is essentially a newsletter. I'm going to check the ones on March. It's March 11th, so I will check the one from the 1st of March, 3rd of March, 5th, 8th, and 10th, which is the most recent one, which was just delivered yesterday. So quick overview. Let's go directly here. Phillips 66, which is a company on oil and gas, American company, I think. Multinational energy company, Texas, has announced that it will be collaborating with Faradion, I don't know, Faradion, to develop anode materials for sodium-ion batteries. Faradion, well, okay, relatively new, develops sodium-ion technology to bring it to the market. So this is great, guys. Probably you're wondering, why not lithium-ion? Well, lithium-ion batteries are the current status quo or go-to batteries. And it's great to see alternatives because lithium is not quite, let's say, it's going to end soon or it's going to increase on price. So what you need to do is essentially wait for the market to adjust and develop technologies that will eventually force a change or distribution on materials. In this case, I will say it's a good bet to go for sodium-ion batteries. And probably you're wondering, what's the difference between sodium-ion and lithium-ion? And what I'm reading here, I'm not that quite enough an expert. I do remember when I was a student asking myself, why aren't we using sodium, which is also a family one chemical from the periodic table, compared to lithium? Well, the problem right here is typically the lithium-ion batteries we see most often use anodes made of graphite. So remember, batteries use lots of graphite as terminals. But graphite doesn't play well with sodium ions, so that's also an interesting thing to compare. Sodium-based batteries use hard carbon anodes, which are essentially graphite materials that are treated at high temperatures. And this way, it's called hard carbon. This way you will be able to interact with the sodium ions. What else do we have here? I'm probably wondering why. Yeah, it's right here. Sorry, guys. Why is Phillips 66 involved? Well, they are a oil and gas company, fuel company. They use refineries. And remember, whenever you want to produce gasolines, you're going to have leftovers or side products, byproducts. In this case, we have coke. We have the residue. We have this typical material which we cannot directly burn because it will be very bad for the environment. We cannot treat it that much because it's going to be expensive. So it's a great way to see how we can diversify the material. And as you can see, P66 produces petroleum coke, which eventually is used also to produce graphite. And if you have graphite, probably it will be a good idea to convert it also, as stated here, to the hard carbon anodes. And that sounds very interesting. Once again, chemical engineers converting very low value materials, which could be coke, which will be typically be burnt, into batteries, which is not also good for the environment in the sense that we're not burning fuels, but we are getting an alternative for the lithium-ion batteries. So great to see this news right here. Texas will be soon be home to the ethylene-based MMA, and not to confuse MMA with mixed martial arts. No, we talk about methyl methacrylate, which is the monomer of PMMA. I'm pretty sure that you know it, just in case you don't know it. It's the typical material which is kind of like, I don't know how to say it, plasticky to the feeling. You can, so this is the most classical example. When you go out and in souvenir stores especially, you will see lots of these materials. I like to show, there are also car appliances. I don't know if right here. The back lights, all these materials are PMMA, so it's a very important material. Okay, German producer ROM is going to be investing in the US Gulf Coast, most likely, yeah, Texas as stated here. Some context. Okay, they are producing MMA, which is very important. Remember, polymers are always increasing, plastics are always increasing on demand. Okay, sounds great. So why are they keeping up? Well, ROM is property, okay, ethylene-based technologies. Of course, you want to increase the value of ethylene gas. Brakem is planning to make even more bio-based polyethylene. That's great. Actually, I don't know why Brazil has this like a goal or focus into converting the biomaterials, which is of course great. So Braskem, remember, is a huge oil and gas company from Brazil. It's going to be making this bio-based polyethylene into 60 tons per year. So why or how is bio-based PE? Essentially, let me go. It's a sugar cane based ethylene. So that's great because it means that it can be renewed. It doesn't mean that we need to wait for crude oil to get here. Yes, we can go grow it in sugar cane, then convert it. Of course, there are ethical concerns such as there's people that require those calories of food. Why are we wasting them on polymers or gasolines and so on? Braskem noted the demand for society to increase in sustainable products. Yes, that's also a marketing trick that is going, all these big oil companies are converting towards this like friendly or environmental or green trend, which is great. What else is going on? INEOS will try hydrogen power plant. Fracking was banned from the Delaware River. That's great to hear, especially for our US friends. The Delaware River is one of the most important ones. I think Washington even crossed there. So important, like core of the American history. Okay, so that was 1st of March. Let's go 3rd of March. Prices still adjusting. That's great to hear. BP, British Petroleum, and SABI to make circular polymers in Germany. And what do you mean with circular polymers? No, it's not about the shape itself. It's actually about this idea of getting the circular economy. So not only extract, produce, manufacture, sell. It's well, this circle in which you recycle, you take produced stuff into back to the chain. So that's the main idea with circular economy or circular polymers. Okay, the UK BP and Saudi Arabian SABIC are going to be working in Germany. So I love how chemical engineering is so international. You have British Petroleum, which is UK based. You have Saudi Arabian company going into Germany. Okay, what else? SABIC will then use these olefins. Okay, BP operates a large refinery and steam cracker in the site. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of polymers right there. SABIC produces polyethylene and polypropylene, which is also very common. BP pyrolysis. Okay, SABIC will then use those olefins to produce new polymers according to the ISCC, which is, I think, something related to carbon industry. Whoops, it is correct. Oh yeah, this same newsletter relating to other news. Okay, yeah, international sustainability and carbon certification. So of course it's something standardization on how you can actually use and decrease your carbon finger print. Let's Covestro. This company sounds a lot of familiar. Yeah, polyurethanes. German chemical company Covestro has announced plans to collaborate and produce CO2-based foam. So that's great. CO2, remember this crisis of CO2 on the ambient environment. We want to decrease CO2. So it's whenever you find a product which requires carbon dioxide as a raw material, that's always great. Jogging your memory, it was just last week, Covestro's new CO2. Okay, so essentially they're going to be producing carbon dioxide based materials for your shoes. Well, sounds interesting. Solvay is laying off 500 more people. So that's also sad news. The pandemic most likely is hitting. Solvay, I think it's mostly soda ash, which is construction material. And yes, it's about the Solvay process, remember. Okay. Well, no, it's overall chemical company. That's great to hear. But it's sad to listen or to know that more chemical engineers, most likely operators, engineers, sales, all these type of workforce are going to get laid off. Okay, yeah, because of the decreasing demand on Airbus and Boeing planes, yeah, the airplane industry is decreasing, so of course the materials are also decreasing. Hence, you need to adjust, and this is a 11.7% drop in earnings in the last quarter. Okay, so that's sad to hear. March 5, an increase on the West Texas. Okay, didn't know that. I thought it. Oh yeah, it's still some 1 week to get along to these trends. Okay, more green hydrogen means more electrolyzers. Okay, so what's this about? Danish process technology companies has announced its plan to construct a 500 megawatts per year solid oxidized electrolyzer manufacturing facility for green hydrogen production. Well, that's okay. It's a cell that uses electrolysis. Okay, this is awesome news. More hydrogen means more cleaner energy. Doesn't mean fully green energy. Nouryon sells a piece of its salts business. So this is interesting to see because typically salt is either produced very chemically or it is produced very, I don't know how to say it, very artisanal way in the sense that they use ocean water and use sunlight, pretty much like here. They are not using any fancy reactors. So let's get into this. Amsterdam-based company has announced that it will be divesting its salts specialties. What are they selling? Company, okay, to AkzoNobel. It's pretty interesting to see that AkzoNobel is actually interested in the salt business after the spin-off. Nouryon has been, okay. So what are they selling? Will continue making salt, which is of course the main core business apparently. Because they are not only making salt, but they are also doing chlorine and sodium hydroxides, which is the chloralkali process. Guys, if you haven't heard about the chloralkali process, you should definitely check it now after this video. Carbion to expand all of its lactic acid plants. Okay, lactic acid is a very important material which is increasing in its strength because it is renewable. It's very, let's say, bio-friendly. And I'm very excited to see here, okay, has announced that it will be further increase its lactic acid production. Remember, from lactic acid, you can do polylactic acid. Yeah, actually, right here. Why more lactic acid? Carbion cited the molecule's role in reducing food waste, creating bio-based plastics, effective solution, okay. Because there is increasing demand on polylactic acid and ethyl lactate, which if I'm not failing, it's a material used in the food industry. Food industry, wine, chicken, because it's a solvent. Last time I checked, yeah. Ethyl lactate is a solvent, and because it's associated to the bio industry, food industry, or this type of materials which are very important for human health, they are increasing in importance and in trend. So that's also great to hear. What else do we have here? Russian refinery will start making MTBE, methyl turbotyl ether. Oh, something on COVID. BASF. Styrofoam is being used to keep COVID-19 vaccines cold. Well, that's interesting to see. If I will work in BASF, I will be very happy to work in this company, which is always doing great stuff. Last two emails. This is March the 8th. Still an increase in crude oil. I thought we were low in price. Yeah, well, not that low. Should be something around 60 US dollars. OMV to make propanol from biodiesel byproducts. Okay, I'm not. Let's check this one. Dow Chemical is also coming to Donghai Island. Okay, so the Dow company is going into one of China's development zones, which if I don't remember incorrectly, this is south of China. Where's the map? Okay, no map. So Donghai Island. This should be a little bit south. Okay, no, this is quite south of China. Okay, yeah, this is pretty near to Vietnam and to the Philippines. This area is very important. The Southeast Asia area is very important, so China is obviously taking control on that. So let's see what's happening here in the development zone to build 250,000 ton per year of polyurethane and alkoxylates. Okay, the potential facility. Okay, apparently, I think we already covered this material that BASF was building something in South China. Okay, let's read more on the chemical park right here. And this is also great whenever you want to spend on this type of projects or development zones, very production or manufacturing focused one. You will always find this type of chemical complex going directly here. So China always doing great job in growing, investing in very important things. This will be for sure one of the most important hubs for chemical materials. Why build the new plant? The Asia Pacific region is the world's largest chemicals market. Okay, yeah, as stated before, high value specialty chemicals. So this is very important, guys. Whenever people or students ask me what do we mean with fine chemicals, is this type of trend that we want to produce high valuable materials or specialty materials, fine chemicals, chemicals that are worth a lot compared to the raw material conversion ratio. So for instance, drugs can be an example, because how much is one aspirin? It's like 1 gram. How much do you sell that aspirin for? I don't know, maybe $1. $1 per gram, 10 kilos, $100,000. So that's the importance on focusing on high valuable specialty chemicals. Solvay's original business might find a new owner. So if you're into Solvay, definitely check this out. We already saw this. This explosion in Saudi Arabia is partly why. Okay, so that's finally one reason on why crude oil is still high. Okay, not gonna subscribe for that. Let me check. This is a little trick I've learned. Let's go incognito and hopefully be able to check this out. Good. Saudi Arabian oil. Oh, what's this? I cannot see it. Or let me refresh. No, I think I am not able to check it out, guys. Sorry, but apparently there was an explosion in Saudi Arabia. Most likely in a refinery or storage spot in Saudi Arabia. That's why probably there was a error. Actually, Saudi Arabia explosion. Crude oil. Okay, I guess we will need to skip that one, but still important to know that that's why oil prices are up. Air Liquide, which is a very important company for gases, form a joint venture with Kazakhstan to produce more hydrogen and nitrogen. That's great. DuPont is working on subsea water desalination with a partner. So that's also important. Water is eventually going to be a very, already it's a valuable resource, but now more into the actual market value. And this one is from yesterday. Prices are still high. Teflon will be now made with less associated emissions. I'm not that into Teflon if you want to check it out. DuPont drops $2.3 billion on a performance material company. Has announced the acquisition of Laird's performance material business. What's this? Performance material, meaning that they produce liquid gap fillers, microwave absorbers, enclosure solutions. Okay, the bigger picture. When combined with DuPont's existing electronics, okay, think of smart. Okay, they are focusing into 5G. Very clever. So this is also important to consider, guys. Whenever we talk about chemical engineers, you go directly, or we tend to think about the actual plant or process industry, but we don't think that all these products will end up into technologies that are very, very, let's say, trendy, such as 5G, such as, I don't know, maybe polymers that will be used in cars, in your cell phone, and all that. BASF, new plant in China, will be powered by renewables. I think we already checked this in a previous note. German chemical giant BASF has announced plans. Shenyang, China. I think we already checked this out. Yeah, feeling deja vu. It was only 2 days ago when we mentioned BASF site. Okay. 10 billion to, okay. Okay, yeah, sounds cool. Lyondell, BASF, and Dow CEOs talked about chemical recycling. That's also a strong PR issue for those big chemical companies, the so-called going green, environmental friendly, circular economies. All that is very strong right now. Okay, guys, so that was it, the news from the 1st of March till today. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you have any doubts, you can always check out the content on thecolumn.co. Definitely go and subscribe. I will be trying to get along this weekly. And if you have any doubts or comments, if you want me to focus in some type of industry, just let me know in the comments, guys. So I'll see you next week with more news from thecolumn.co. Take care, guys.